The summer of 1994, Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Outside, this is a quiet, densely packed neighborhood, but inside a nondescript safe house, 4 Western tourists are chained to the floor, guarded by militants with their fingers on the triggers. In the darkness outside, tactical teams from the UK Special Task Force and the Delhi police are moving into their final assault positions. This standoff is the climax of an international blackmail plot, a strategy built to extract high-level concessions through diplomatic proxy. To find the origin of this crisis, we have to look at the Kashmir Valley in the early 1990s. Indian security forces were systematically dismantling militant networks and capturing high-value commanders. Among those captured was Maulana Masood Azhar. He had entered India to unite several militant groups, but intelligence units tracked him down and locked him in an Indian prison. Back at Pakistan's ISI headquarters in Rawalpindi, this arrest created an immediate problem. Their primary operative was now in Indian custody. Pakistan needed Azhar back. To retrieve him, they shifted their strategy toward a highly targeted international hostage plot. The tactical director for this operation was Ilyas Kashmiri, a battle-hardened former commando from Pakistan's Special Service Group. His partner was Umar Saeed Sheikh. Highly educated and deceptively charming, Sheikh acted as the intellectual manipulator of the scheme. Their plan, dubbed Operation Al-Hadid, was designed to exploit India's international vulnerabilities. By kidnapping Westerners, they intended to trigger a panic in Washington and London. Those governments would then exert the diplomatic pressure necessary to force the release of Masood Azhar. The terrorists calculated that the Indian government would buckle under the weight of these international demands. Umar Saeed Sheikh executed the first phase in New Delhi. Using his Western education to build trust, he befriended and subsequently kidnapped 4 American and British tourists. He smuggled the hostages out of the capital, hiding them in the labyrinthine neighborhoods of Saharanpur. Once the tourists were secured, the terrorists delivered their ultimatum: release Masood Azhar immediately, or the foreigners would be executed. The diplomatic fallout was immediate. Western embassies placed immense pressure on New Delhi to secure their citizens. The terrorists had successfully weaponized the lives of foreigners to create a direct diplomatic crisis for the Indian government. New Delhi responded with a hardline policy. The government refused to negotiate with the captors or consider the release of Masood Azhar. Instead, the task of resolving the standoff was handed to the UP Special Task Force and the Delhi Police Special Cell. These units activated a massive human intelligence network, deploying undercover agents and street-level informants to find the safe house. Pinpointing a single target within the dense sprawl of Saharanpur proved difficult. The breakthrough came when human intelligence confirmed the precise geographic coordinates of the hideout. To counter an international blackmail plot, India relied on localized, ground-level police work. The raid required a silent approach. If the guards realized they were surrounded, the hostages would likely be killed instantly. Joint commando teams quietly moved into position, surrounding the Saharanpur safe house and cutting off all escape routes. They explosively breached the front door and transitioned immediately into a heavy, close-quarters firefight. Umar Saeed Sheikh fired blindly, but he was quickly hit by multiple gunshots and collapsed before he could be captured alive. The terrorists had relied on sophisticated manipulation, but the kinetic reality of the raid overwhelmed their planning. The commandos secured the room, extracting all 4 American and British hostages without a single casualty. The rescue validated India's hardline refusal to negotiate, resolving the crisis through tactical intervention rather than the release of Masood Azhar. But as the hostages were being led to safety, the tactical mastermind behind the plot was already gone. Ilyas Kashmiri had been monitoring the site. When the breach began, he abandoned his team and used the chaos to slip away toward the border. Kashmiri escaped, but the collapse of the Saharanpur cell closed a specific chapter of hostage-based blackmail, proving that the diplomatic leverage the militants counted on would be met with force.